They are celebrating Will Rogers this weekend in Claremore. The American humorist would be 138 years on Sunday.
His great-granddaughter's in town to help with the celebration at the Will Rogers Memorial. She tells me the man who got the United States through the heartache of the Great Depression with his wit would be dismayed by the country he'd find today. Jennifer, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You live in California now.
Yes.
How often do you get to come back to Oklahoma, Claremore specifically?
I come back about 3 or 4 times a year. I come back for all the main events that we have, the fly-in in August, Will Rogers' birthday events in November, and a board meeting in between here and there.
What's it mean to come back to such a beautiful memorial and see so many people still coming in and remembering your great-grandfather?
It surprises me. I've been involved in the family things since 1991, and it seems like every year we have more and more attending. So it makes me very proud. I'm excited that people want to learn and continue to come visit.
He was a lot of things, author, reporter, movie star, radio star, adventurer, cowboy. He always skewered the pompous and the self-important, but he did it in a kind way. Gentle humor, got to the point, was very succinct, but did it in a kind way. But he was yet so involved in American politics and current events and kept the American public up on those kinds of things. What would your great-grandfather think of where we are today with our public discourse?
Yes.
Have you ever stopped to think about that?
That's the #1 question I'm asked, believe it or not. And I don't know. I used to have an opinion. I think he would be very disappointed in Americans, that we have gotten to a point that we're so divided, regardless of your political, opinion. He was friends with everybody. He was friends with Democrats, Republicans. He would poke fun at the other party, but he was best friends with them. And he could do it in a way that was respectful. And nowadays, everything is so politically correct, he couldn't get away with anything, However, his quotes and his sayings are just as relevant today as they were back then. So I think that he would be, he'd be disappointed in our actions and in the way that we are as just Americans today.
He'd be discouraged.
I think so. I really do.
That's hard to hear, that Will Rogers would be discouraged, because you think of Will Rogers as always on the sunny side of life.
Right. Well, maybe we need somebody like him to bring us all back together. What
would it take for somebody? Would Will Rogers be able to be the megastar that he is today with social media and all of that?
Right.
How would he handle that world today, do you think?
I don't know. I get also asked that question often, too. Who in your lifetime would you say is comparable? And there is nobody. Some people say Bob Hope was. But Bob Hope didn't write his own lines. Jay Leno didn't write his own lines. I mean, Will Rogers wrote his own scripts, and he made his own humor. He didn't have somebody putting it in front of him. And that comes from a pretty special inner strength, I guess, is the right way to say it. But there's not very many people out there that you can pick and choose and maybe build him, but I just don't know that there will ever be anybody quite like him. I don't think there ever will be.
Claremore celebrates him this weekend. Yeah. There's a parade. There's the big birthday bash.
Yes.
What can people expect if they come here to the memorial and come to Claremore?
We just really want to encourage everybody to get together, celebrate Will's birthday, remember who he was, come up to the museum and visit the museum, and learn a little bit more about him. I'm so surprised how many people I meet in Claremore that have never been here. And they go, oh, well, we take prom pictures there, or, we took our wedding photos on the hill, our kids sled down it in the winter, but they've never been inside. So I encourage people to come out and learn a little bit more. I'll be here all weekend. Come say hi.
All the more reason to come to the Will Rogers Memorial this weekend. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Now, there's a parade today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Goes through downtown Claremore. That's always fun. And then Saturday, the Indian Women's Pocahontas Club will hold their traditional wreath-laying ceremony at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Memorial Museum there. And on Sunday, the museum celebrates Will's birthday by offering complimentary admission from 10 to 5. If you've not been up there, you should, and they're upgrading the technology. They're about to start on that to make it more interactive, especially for young people who only know Will Rogers as a black and white picture.
Right.
And they see a black and white picture or black and white film, old grainy film, and they think, well, who's that old fella and why does it matter? So they're trying to, new touch touch technology and the things that engage children in a museum, and they're starting that up there. Jennifer's very involved in the board of directors, comes from California, she said 4 times a year, so nice to see a family member
Oh, it's
involved
lovely.
there as well.
And just what a treat to go to that museum. You have to go there if you haven't been.